Hi there, I'm Eitan, and welcome back to the Wix Wiz. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that I hear coming up a lot, and I also see on a lot of sites that I'm added as a collaborator to, and that is the distinction between contacts and site members. When should we be using contacts? When should we be using site members? What does each one do, and what are they good for? So that's what we're going to be talking about today in today's tutorial, and we're about to start. But before we start, I just want to tell you about a little something, and that is the subscribe button. You may or may not have heard of it. It's right under this video, and when you click it, two things are going to happen. One is I'm going to be really, really happy, and I'm going to know that you find this content valuable and you want to keep on seeing it, so I'll keep on making it. And the second thing that's going to happen is that you will not miss out on the video that's going to come out next week and the week after and after and after and after. And who knows, one of those videos might be the video that transforms your website and your business, and you really don't want to miss out on that. So after you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, or at least think about it very seriously, let's get started. Let's start off talking about the what. So both contacts and members are services that Wix offers in addition to the core functionality of your website. Contacts is essentially a form of CRM. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management System. And there are many CRMs out there. One of the popular ones, for example, is one that's known as HubSpot. And Wix offers this as an additional service out of the box. It is free and it comes with your website when you start building it. And you can find the contacts in that CRM inside of your dashboard. So it would be under the customers and leads section in contacts. And essentially what these contacts are records of people who visited your site and left some sort of information with regards to themselves so that you can, in the future, contact them. Okay, so for example, filling out a form or something of that sort. And whenever that happens, they are listed here inside of this list, usually with either an email or a phone number, which is the method of contact. You can also import contacts, so you can bring contacts that you have from outside of Wix. So over here you have an import and export button, so you can import contacts via CSV. So it doesn't necessarily need to be somebody that came to you through your Wix website. In addition, you can choose to outsource this CRM functionality. You don't have to use the built-in CRM that Wix provides. You can also collect data about your visitors from your website via forms or other methods, and then export that data either using some kind of no-code connector, something like Zapier or other apps that are offered on the Wix app market, and store your contacts in a CRM like HubSpot or something along those lines. Members, on the other hand, is a form of authentication. So it's a way of verifying that somebody using your site is indeed who they say they are. There are many authentication services out there. So if you were building your website from scratch, let's say, you might use something like Auth0 in order to manage your authentication. So that includes logging in, signing up, and basically tracking a user across multiple sessions that they're using your site to make sure it's still the same person. The key difference between contacts and members is the fact that for members, there will typically be only one record for each real person in the world. So if the same person is accessing your site and they log in and prove that they are the member that they are, then you know that it is that singular person and they'll use that same account to access your site every time they go on your site, as opposed to contacts where there may be several records of a contact for an individual person. So when somebody goes and visits your site, you don't really have any way of verifying that they are a specific contact unless they fill out a form and provide the contact information that's already listed. Even in that scenario, you can't really verify that they are the person that they say they are, because technically I can take anybody's information and input it on a contact form on a website. On the other hand, I hopefully will not have access to the credentials or the, let's say, password for a specific member account to log into somebody else's member account. So membership can be used for verifying that a person is who they say they are, and therefore can also be used to protect data, allow access to certain functionality and pages, whereas contacts is pretty much just a record that you will use for your own purposes, such as marketing or getting in touch with leads. Now that we have a better understanding of the what, let's talk a little bit about the how. So again, starting with contacts and this Wix CRM is something that comes with your Wix website out of the box, and you really don't need to do anything additional in order to install it or get it working. Anytime that you have a Wix form on your website, so for example, if I have a form over here, and I go to, for example, edit forms. These are the new forms, by the way. There are two kinds of forms. There's old forms and new forms, but both of the kinds of forms. So assuming that I add in a field, let's say to collect the person's email, then this email field should automatically sync with a contact or create a new contact when that person fills out the form on the Wix website. So for example, let me show you the process of how a contact is added. So if I go ahead and I publish my site with this new form that was just added in, and then I go ahead and I view my live site, and I leave my email here in the form. So I just say here, Aton Tester at thewixwiz.com, and then I go ahead and I click submit. So we see here that the submission was successful, and this email address should now be added to my contacts. So if I go back over here to the editor, and then I go to the site dashboard, and I go and head back to that list of contacts that we were looking at before. So here in customers and leads, and this contact right over here. So you can see here that Aton Tester at thewixwiz.com was added as a contact to my website. I don't have any other information about this person, only the email, because that's the only thing I connected essentially. But you can build out more complex forms in order to collect more data. But this same person can come to the site later on and fill out the form with a different email, and they'd be added in as a new contact. So essentially, it's a record of some contact information for an individual, but it doesn't have anything to do with verifying that that individual is the same person accessing the website. One small note that I'll make here while we're already talking about contacts and forms is that you can see here that I have the never subscribed marker here, and this means that if we're using the contacts for example, sending out email marketing campaigns, then this person will be considered as unsubscribed from a Wix perspective. If you want to make sure that a user is subscribed, you have to make sure to add that field inside of the form when you're setting it up. So if you go over here back into settings, back into edit form, and if we take a look at the fields, so these are all the contact fields, all the things that will be added to a contact if the person filling out the form fills it out. Again, with the old Wix forms, it's a little different, but here you can see that there's essentially a subscribe checkbox that you can add in. And if somebody checks that box in a form, then they will be considered subscribed for the purpose of email marketing and stuff like that. Membership, on the other hand, is something that doesn't come out of the box when you first create your site, but rather it's a free app that you can install from the app market. So if you go over here to add apps, you can also find this in the dashboard. All you need to do is search here inside of the marketplace for the members app, and there's a Wix members area, okay, that you can go ahead and add to your site. And this will add in a bunch of stuff. So we'll add in an automatic sign up and login option. It'll also add a members area, so a place that can be accessed only by a specific member for editing their own account details and stuff like that. So let me just show you what this looks like. So if we go here now to pages and menu in our site, then you can see here that we have now sign up and login, and we're using currently the default member sign up form and login form. We also have this login bar that was added up here inside of our header. So if I go ahead and I publish our site now, then you can see here that we have the option Let me just go here back to the live site. Now we have the option up here to log in. And if I click on that, it will open up the default sign up login light box where I can choose to either sign up or log in. So let's say I sign up as a new member. I'm going to sign up with email, and I'll sign up here as Aton Tester 2 at thewixwiz.com. And then I will pick a password and say I'm not a robot and continue with the sign up. Out of the box, we also have social login, so we can do either with Google or with Facebook. And if we take a look here now back inside, inside of our dashboard, then we can see here if we go to members, so it's within contacts. Wix kind of buried it a little deep. It used to be on the top level here, but you can see here that we have the option to go view and manage site members. And we can see here now that we have two members. So we have the original member, the site owner, and we have this new member that signed up. And now I know that whenever this member logs into the website, it's definitely that member. So I can, for example, go to certain pages of my website. And let's see here, I go to Site Menu, and I add in a new page. And I do a blank page. I can go to that page's settings right over here. And I can go to Permissions. And I can decide, for example, that this page is only for site members. Okay, so this is something that is different between contacts and site members. So I can't limit a page to only specific contacts because those people are not actually verified. I don't actually know that that person is who they say they are because they didn't use a specific password or social login in order to get in. Within site members, we can also allow access based on more specific things such as certain member roles and stuff like that. I won't dive into it too deeply, but basically the difference is that contacts are something that are for your internal use case, essentially. So you are using those contacts for example, marketing or just keeping track of people to reach out to leads, whereas membership is something that is for the person that is actually logged in so that they can gain access or navigate the site with a certain persistent user that you know is the person that is logged in. It's important to note that contacts and members are not necessarily mutually exclusive. So you could have somebody that is both a member and a contact. And moreover, when somebody becomes a member of your site, they will automatically be added as a contact that is linked to that specific member. So you can see over here now that I have three contacts essentially, one from the person that filled out the contact form and another from the site member. And you can see that they have here that they have a member status of site member. So now I have three contacts and two members where essentially I, just one single person, have been using the site the whole time. So you can see here why contacts can proliferate while membership is usually specific to the exact users that are using the site. And that's also why we will strive to use membership when we are trying to do things that have some level of sensitivity to them, such as allowing access to specific data, permissions, certain promotions that we want to give to very specific people, etc. Whereas contacts is something a little more quote unquote laid back. You'll often find out that you have maybe several spam contacts or garbage contacts or whatnot. You may have duplicate contacts, which you can, by the way, merge. So you have the option to select several contacts. For example, I can select this contact and this contact over here, and then I can select merge. Okay, so I know that these two contacts are essentially the same person, so I'm deciding to merge them into one contact for my own purposes. I can have a contact which has several email addresses, several phone numbers. Okay, so the contacts is a more quote unquote casual thing. It is a personal record for myself for running my business versus a integrated tool inside of the website, which is used for actually filtering data and access. So to sum up, what are the differences and when should we be using contacts and when should we be using members? So Contacts again is a CRM. It's a customer relationship tool, and it's used for tracking visitors to your website, gathering leads, and gathering contact information, mostly for your business purposes. So think if it's something that you need for your business, if you want to reach out to leads later, if you want to send out email marketing campaigns, that is something that you're going to be using Contacts for. On the other hand, members has to do with the application level, okay, the application layer of your website. So it has to do with keeping track and authenticating that somebody is who they say they are, creating personalized experiences over various sessions, restricting permissions, and centralizing data throughout your website for a specific person. A quick rule of thumb that I can try and give is that Contacts is for me, it's for the site owner, whereas Site Member is for the person using the site. So if you're trying to implement a certain feature and you're not sure if this feature has to do with contacts or it has to do with members, then think to yourself, okay, who is this feature for? Is this for me so that I can collect information about people, or is this for the person that's using the website and the experience that I want to give them? Remember, of course, that they're not mutually exclusive. They often overlap, and you can and often do have both of them on your website. Contacts out of the box and Wix members if you install the app. There's probably a lot more that can be said about contacts and members, but this is an introductory tutorial, so if you have any questions on this topic, please leave them in the comments below so that I know if there's what to make a follow-up on or if I missed out on something important. If you found this informative and you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this every week, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.